Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all the news from Star Citizen from the week just past. I am your host Mac, so let's get on with it. So this week we take a closer look into hand-to-hand combat, we get planetary weather coming in 3.8, plus prison gameplay is now added to the roadmap. So this week's Inside Star Citizen was a Halloween special. It was titled The Easy Hub of Horrors, and it was actually very funny to watch, so just for the laughs, it's definitely worth watching. Now the actual show talked about hand-to-hand combat and melee combat. They have got a lot more hand-to-hand animations in the game now, which include all of the light attacks and all of the heavy attacks. You can combine these to create combinations by alternating between either light and heavy attacks and using the right and left hand side attacks as well. To use a light attack, you'll just have to tap the mouse button. To get a more heavy attack, you hold the mouse button down and it sort of gives you hooks, haymakers and uppercuts and so forth. If you land one of these sort of heavy attacks, you can do stun damage. This doesn't actually injure the player as such, it just creates kind of a stunned or dazed visual effects, making it harder to focus and see what's going on. If you hit someone enough though, you will knock them unconscious. This means that things like bar fights can actually happen without doing lethal damage. Now if you have your fists or your gun equipped and approach an enemy, you will be able to do a non-lethal takedown, just rendering the opponent unconscious, and after a little while they'll wake up again. You will be able to dodge and block. This is going to be an option. Dodging is more appropriate when your opponent is using a knife or a melee weapon, with the block being able to just sort of be directional, so wherever your block is facing, it'll block that direction, whatever attack you are taking. You will still take a little bit of damage, so a dodge would be better, especially if they're using a knife. You'll be able to either dodge to the left, to the right, or backwards, so avoiding anything like a knife is always recommended. Knife takedowns are in as well. This will just outright kill the opponent though. Later this quarter, they will be working on the ability to drag bodies and move them around, whether they're unconscious or dead. They have started on it now, and it will be very useful, especially if you're trying to play maybe a stealth bit of gameplay, either against players or AI, but if there's someone patrolling, you don't want them to stumble upon one of the bodies that you have taken down so you can drag it away and hide it. It does look like there'll be many ways and grip points to drag bodies, either by the legs, their clothing, their arms and so forth, and it does look really good. When we get all this in, it is just going to add so much more to the depth of the game. They've also started improving how the players react to direct and indirect events around them, so sort of forced animations or reactions. The animation will play together if you're getting shot. For example, in first person view, your weapon will move or shake when you're getting hit. They don't want the weapon to move out of the aim too far, so it's kind of first come, first serve. So if you are getting shot, you'll still have a chance of returning fire. But next up, they say, is reacting to grenade forces from various distances. And if you're inside a ship and your ship gets hit by an explosion, they want to know how the player will react to it inside and be shook about, which I think when that actually gets implemented and we're in big multi-crew ships, seeing you and your teammates all get flung around based on what's going on outside will definitely add more to the immersion of the game. Anyway, that was Inside Star Citizen. As I say, just such a funny episode. Jared and Jaylee really playing up to the cameras and making us all laugh. So if you do want a few laughs, I highly suggest giving it a watch. So there's been a couple of very exciting tidbits released this week, which are just worth mentioning. Both of them I will bring to separate videos though, coming next week. The first is from a recent article in the German gaming magazine Eurogamer in regards to one of the panels that we will be watching at CitizenCon this year. Now the panel is called Terra Firma and it takes a look at the latest version of the Planet Tech. The article talks a little bit about what the panel will show us of this Planet Tech version 4. Now as I say, I won't delve too deep into it today as I have got a much more in-depth video coming out early next week, which will talk further about what we are going to see early days and future, so be sure to subscribe for that. Now basically, the Planet Tech version 4 will release with Microtech in 3.8. After that, they will then convert this tech to all the other locations and planets. What this tech brings is smoother transitions to the planet's geography while transitioning from space to planet side, weather conditions like rain finally, improvements to the atmosphere, volumetric clouds and ground fog, plus better shadows. Now all of this will drastically improve the look and the feel of the planets, and I'm sure we will see a lot of this at CitizenCon and obviously enjoy this tech around Microtech in 3.8. Something else worth mentioning, which I spoke about in yesterday's roadmap update video, is the addition to the 3.9 roadmap, which is a new card called Prisons. Next week, they did say that this new edition will be broken into a variety of different cards that represent the development work needed to make the prison gameplay loop possible. This will include missions, activities, locations, and I just can't wait to hear more on this. CitizenCon as well does have a dedicated panel focused on explaining more about prison gameplay, which should be really interesting. And on Monday, I will have a video coming out which talks about CIG's intentions with prisons from as far back as 2014 to the most recent information we have had at last year's CitizenCon with Tony Zurovec. Also, a prisoner transport ship variant which CIG said that they had already begun work on in 2015. So do keep your eyes peeled for that video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and tick that notification bell so you do see when my videos go live. It is definitely not one you want to miss. So also this week there was a new Far From Home post which sees old Jaeger back in the cockpit again. CitizenCon merchandise is available to pre-order, plus Star Citizen Live this week showed us an early insight into the process of creating concept ships. So that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share the video with all your friends. If you like what I do and want to help me make it better, follow the link below to my Patreon page to learn more.